participants to this very special workshop, which is actually organized with two moments linked together. One thing is Wakamavi's 150th birth year, and we are through a number of programs organizing, or rather remembering, or rather carrying that message to the people of Kerala, in particular to the youth, on what values Wakamavi actually preached and practiced. That is one thing. The other thing is, today happened to be the National Press Day. So, as a fearless, free press, Sudeshabhimani, the journal started by Wakamavi, because it is all history, what happened, how truth or the democratic spirit has been in those days through a corrupt official bureaucracy. It's not anything fancy. It could remain only for around 5 years. And you should understand that these are times, the first decade of the last century. Times have changed. So now we are actually organizing this seminar on a particular subject called Fostering a Democratic India, the role of the media then and now. So it is a very difficult exercise to compare the media's role almost a century back and now, for several reasons, especially the journalism students who are here in strength. I understand, they do realize what that difficulty is. That is exactly the reason why Wakamavi, as well as the Wakamavi Foundation Trust, which has been trying to project what has been done during those years and what it means to our press today as well as to the coming generation. That is also why the digitization project of that older Sudeshabhimani media, we have actually started, and it is almost nearing completion. Once that is over, the entire literature connected with this will be available for you to browse or for use them for research and other purposes. Definitely for deeper understanding of what was then meant. Because as this is a subject where journalists should speak, and I am probably far away from that. It's true that 1960s, 1970s and 1980s, I have been writing science for the public, for the children, and occasionally for serious reading. That is a long time past, and otherwise I cannot say that I have any knowledge about the journalism or the press consumers of the current journalistic world or the environment. But one thing I have actually understood early in my childhood itself is that a journal is an organizer. മലയാളത്തിൽ പത്രം ഒരു സംഘാടകനാണ്. This particular role of an organizer is probably what is meant, I don't know, thinkers like Dr. Prakash, as well as our senior journalist Saraswati, as well as Abhilash. These people probably will be able to unravel what is actually inside of fostering a democratic India and the role of media in it. It is something a little difficult to understand, but then it is also open. Even when democracy is actually interpreted in a very, very different way in different countries and in different situations, I have always, especially while traveling to several countries which are actually a kind of assorted array of countries which we assume, like India, where we are fully democratic, to totally capitalistic countries, and many shades in between. At least 30, 40 countries I have many a times when in some countries where I see kind of practices, see their media, as well as see how media person actually discuss. I'm saying in Latin America, in Africa, in China, and in many Southeast Asian countries. I have sometimes doubted what is actually democracy. Always I used to think that what we consider as democracy here in India, sometimes we doubt whether it is even fully democratic. Where we talk about a country which is actually totally totalitarian, even there we find many refreshing practices of democracy, where people are taken into confidence, their views are taken. Then should you not consider them as democratic? So these are actually issues for you to learn, discuss, debate, and then finally come to conclusions as to how we should have a democratic India, and in which your profession is journalism, how you can actually work. Then the experience of Wakamaulavi and his editors in those days, because there is always a government system, and that defines the nature of the country. And in between media people, we say it is actually the fourth pillar of a democratic nation. So, but this pillar has a very responsible role, and if that is actually taken to its correct direction, definitely our people will be led as an organizer as well as a content provider. People will be led to practice true democracy. With these words, I will also be listening to the views of these experts. All that I want to say is that BMFT always keeps the tradition of Wakamaulavi and other social reformers whom we consider as stalwarts of Renaissance of those days. And those Renaissance messages are still valued, and it can still be propagated, it can still be practiced. Of course, there are conditions and boundaries, and those are for you to find out and probably expand or contain. With these words, let me close my